Hey everybody, welcome to Friday Night Chats with Kelly and Kevin.
Hi guys.
And we're recording from home as always, from a different side of the table because we're trying to find that right spot.
Yeah, this time we got our alcohol in the shot.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit of the alcohol that we have over there.
There's a high percentage. There's a high percentage of our shots that have alcohol in it, even though none of us drink, which is crazy.
It is crazy. We have a lot of alcohol in our house, but none of us drink it. Which is probably why we have so much.
When COVID's over, we just need to have a big party.
Just get trashed.
Yeah. Well, we just have people come over. We'll get Richard over here. He'll drink a bit of it. Yeah. Anyway. So tonight we have topics.
We have a lot to talk about.
And
a little bit of an eventful week.
Yeah.
A lot of different things going on.
Yeah.
This is really what's been cool about the podcast is that, like, normally before we should be like, oh, it's another week. But when you actually sit down on Friday and we spend a few minutes beforehand just talking about, okay, what happened this week? And you're like,
wow, that happened this week.
Really,
wow.
I mean, they're big to us. I guess they're probably to you.
Yeah.
Not that big.
Obviously, some of you guys are watching. So, yeah, some of y'all are enjoying it.
So anyway, we are just going to start our first segment here. We're just calling the whole segment story time from now on, because really that's all we're doing is just going to tell some stories about what happened this week. And so we'll start off with Kevin's new normal.
Yeah. So my new shift started, and I work from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with Wednesday and Thursday off. Awesome. And it is awesome. It is so much awesome.
It's so good.
It's good to have an evening off, because before I was working from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And so basically your entire day is work. So there's no, but this week I was able to, when work was done, I'd hang out with the family. I cooked dinner, went to the store, did whatever. I was able to, do stuff.
Run across the street
to the store. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's my lot. I get it. And I don't mind doing it. That's been my lot since I was a kid.
But you know what was nice today? Like, since you're still off on Wednesday and Thursday, and you still drive me to school on Wednesday and Thursday, Monday or Tuesday was the first day I've actually driven myself to work this entire school year.
That's crazy.
And when I came home today, I walked in the kitchen and Kevin was starting dinner, like he was cooking some stuff. And I'm like, oh, Kevin must be starting cooking while he's on his break. It didn't even, I didn't even register that, oh, he's already off for the whole night, which was
very nice.
Really awesome. Yeah, I like that.
I got some pork
instantly
butt.
Made me happier.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got some pork butt in the Instapot. Gonna make some barbecue.
Making the BBQ.
Yeah.
Tonight. So we're adjusting to that, but it's pretty easy adjustment.
Yeah, because, nice.
I mean, I leave for work at 7 and he starts work at 7:30, and then we're both off right at about the same time. So we're almost like real people now. Real couples with similar schedules.
And Cox is instituting some changes moving forward. There's some stuff coming up. I can't talk about what that is, but there some of the stuff that we support is going to be changing as far as what my job is. So that'll be stressful, but beyond that, I think I can handle it.
That happens all the time. Cox changes the way they do things.
That's the way call centers work. Call centers change every day.
They change the structure of their business frequently.
Yeah.
Like, just give it enough time to things to start working, and then they're restructuring everything, which is really similar to the school system. They do that too.
Yeah.
They put something new in place, and they just give it enough time that you start getting used to it, and then they change everything on you.
Yeah.
So it is stressful. You feel like you're learning your job all over again.
Over and over
again.
Yep.
So can I just mention one thing that's really annoying me at the moment?
Sure.
You see this right here?
Well, I thought you were going to go see April this week or this weekend.
I'm going to try to, but that drives me so batshit crazy. I just want to cut it right off, just with a pair of trimmers. Because see, look, doesn't that even look better?
It does.
Yeah.
Or you can just turn your head.
If I was sitting on that side, I wouldn't even notice it.
Want to switch?
No.
All right. We're moving forward.
We're going with it. So we mentioned a little bit last week about our experience getting blood drawn. Last Saturday, Kevin and I both went in the morning to our primary care doctor who they have a lab and everything there. So we went to get blood drawn, which Kevin doesn't mind doing, but I hate it because I'm not afraid of needles or anything like that. In fact, I get blood drawn in probably the most painful way. I just go in there and ask them to do it in the most painful way because they can never find veins on me in my arms, like here, and so I'll go in and just say, please just go straight for my wrist. And they always are like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. So it's a process every time. So we go early because we wanted to get in and out. Mm-hmm. Like we didn't want to have to be waiting. And so we're sitting in the parking lot. We're literally the first car there because I'm, chronically early to everything.
Oh, we both are.
And so if I'm not 15 minutes early, I feel like I'm late. So we'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
So we're sitting in the parking lot and we're waiting and, there's no one else there. So after a little bit, another car pulls up next to a couple spots over, but next to us. And the person in the car starts to get out of their car. And Kevin says, we should probably get out and go wait at the door so this bitch doesn't get in front of us. Kiddingly, of course. He was kidding.
Yeah.
And so I kind of laughed and I go to like get my stuff together and I look and I know the woman.
Yeah. Awesome person. She's fun and
I've known her for so long. Like I worked with her back in my like pre-college days because I quit college for a while because I didn't enjoy school. Mm-hmm. And so I went straight into college after high school for a year and then was just like, I just can't anymore. So I quit school and I worked retail for a while. And so I worked with her at this job I had. And she quickly became one of my favorite people on the planet because she tells you like it is. There's no worry that no matter what you say, she finds humor in it and mm-hmm. she's not offended at anything and like just will shoot you straight. And I've always really appreciated people like that in my mm-hmm. life. So
she
anyway,
didn't mind being called a bitch. That's great.
So she's walking up and I don't see her often. Like we went 20 years and became friends, found each other on Facebook and just through Facebook. But so anyway, she was walking up and I got out of the car and she's walking back to her car to get her mask because she forgot her mask. And I like knocked on the window and it's like, oh my gosh. And I said, yeah, Kevin said we needed to get in line, before this bitch gets in front of us. So
which she thought was hilarious.
She thought it was hilarious. And that started the ball rolling that she was there for the exact same reason we were there. And she has the same doctor we have.
Yeah.
Who's hilarious.
Yeah. Jones is the best.
So we go in and we get to the door. She goes, oh, don't let this bitch walk in front of you. Like go in. So we're laughing and we end up sitting all back together in the lab and telling stories, catching up. How are you doing? And laughing and whatever. And so I went in first to get my blood and I sat in the woman's chair and I was like, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm a hard stick. This is not going to be easy. They always roll their eyes at me when I say that because they think they're going to be the one that's going to get me in one stick. And I said, if you could just go like on my wrist, I can see the veins there. So, I've had them go between my fingers and all over crazy places. So she, of course, felt up here and couldn't. So she says, oh, you're just going to take up all my time today. She was like not having it. And I'm like, oh, now I have to deal with someone with an attitude. So I can hear Kevin and our friend in the, and I don't want to say her name just in case she doesn't. I don't know.
Okay,
we haven't talked to her about whether we can tell the story or not. But
you say her first name. We're not throwing her full name out.
Oh, that's true. So Kevin and Erica were in the waiting room and they were cutting up and there were more people in there. People were laughing and it was sounding a little rowdy. And she's like, oh, they're getting loud out there. Like, you're going to be in here taking up all my time and they're just getting really loud out there. And I said, well, that's just my husband and like a friend of ours. He's out there entertaining the troops, basically. So she kind of chuckled at that and ended up getting blood. So I came out and my wrist was bandaged, right? So I sit down. Kevin goes in. I'm waiting for him. And this woman is like, you had to get blood taken from your wrist? And I'm like, yeah, it's every time. So last time I was here, when they went between my fingers, my doctor wanted repeat blood work done. And so he walked me to the lab, and then the technician came in and said, Dr. Jones said he wants us to take blood from under your tongue. So you just have to know, Dr. Jones, I knew right away it was a joke. This woman across from me almost lost her shit.
Yeah.
She was like, this is my first time here. Is that a normal practice? And I think I'm going to leave. Well, everyone in the waiting room started laughing. And this one man was like, did you say your doctor's name was Dr. Jones? And I was like, yes. He goes, okay, totally get it.
Because he's hilarious. I mean, he's told us stories. Like the first time we went into his office, he told us a story about when he had to get a colonoscopy, and he did the prep, and he was worried that he was going to shit himself.
His wife was worried he was going to. She wanted him to sleep in the bathtub.
Right. She wanted him to sleep in the bathtub. He wasn't about that. So I said, well, why don't you just put on a trash bag diaper? And he was like, what? It's like you just poke a couple holes in a trash bag, put it on like a diaper, you're all set. He was like, well, that's brilliant. But what I did was, and he said he took a
sanitary napkin.
Sanitary napkin and put it on his underwear and, was wearing it. But he didn't do it right because apparently he just taped the...
No, he said, do you know those things have wings?
Yeah.
I said, yes, and he didn't fold the wings over. And so they got taped
to taped to the tank.
Hilarious. Really, like any doctor that tells you that. And we're like...
And we've been... He's the best. I love going to Jones.
Every time we go in there. So anyway, Kevin goes in and comes out quickly because, they don't ever have a problem with Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
And we leave. Said goodbye to everybody, gave Eric a hug, whatever, and we go. He starts basically bleeding out.
I just start bleeding out. Like I look down and I'm like, what's going on? And I look down and I'm like, blood's going like a big... It looked crazy. I was like, holy shit.
Kevin will say it looked like The Walking Dead, but it really wasn't that.
Yeah. Well, it was, and there was this old woman just roaming around in the hall, and she starts talking to us, and I'm like, I'm bleeding. She's like, oh, you bleed like I do. And I'm like, well, I'm just going back here, and left that old lady to wander. And I go back, and Erica's in the chair, and I'm like, I came back because I need some help. So Erica pops the curtain just to see, and she sees me bleeding. She says, holy shit, he needs help. So the lady comes out and she says, oh, you're right. She wiped me down or whatever and looked at the thing.
And the funny part, though, is Erica, when she left, we were gone already. And when she left, she told us, we read later, she posted it on Facebook, that she asked the technician to put a Band-Aid on her jugular. And she went back out in the room and she's like, they got it from my jugular vein. Just to drive those people crazy who were so afraid to get their blood drawn, which is hilarious.
Right.
But anyway, it's always fun at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
So we went back for like our regular yearly checkup.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, Kevin's blood work was great. Like the doctors were so happy with you.
Except for the one thing, my potassium was high. But that's apparently has to do with they have to do my blood work, and because of my insurance, it goes to Carolina.
Yeah, he said if you shake the blood sample too much, the cells release potassium, and it'll read a high potassium level in your blood. So he's pretty sure that's what happened because everything else looked so good.
Yeah, so. I needed to get my repeat blood work Wednesday.
I know.
Probably Wednesday.
I can't go Wednesday because I have to work. I was going to go Saturday, but whatever. We could maybe not go together.
Yeah, there you
go. But mine, everything was fine in mine except I had some elevated liver enzymes, which I already knew because, of course, I log into Centera My Chart and check all my blood work as soon as it comes in there. But and it's the second time in a couple years that's been elevated. And of course, I didn't go in 2020 to have blood drawn, so we didn't have that year. We skipped that year. So Dr. Jones said, I don't drink. He said none of my medications would cause it unless I take a Tylenol a lot, which I don't overuse Tylenol. Like I may use Tylenol a couple times a week, and I never exceed the dosage on the bottle. I'm 100% sure it's not Tylenol usage.
Yeah.
But he wanted to rule that out, so I have to go give more blood in 2 weeks, but with no Tylenol for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which has been fun. But anyway, I had to go get an ultrasound of my liver. So we went and did that. I went and did that on Wednesday. Kevin took me. And, it's an ultrasound. It's not that big of a deal. But when you have health-related anxiety, sometimes that little thing can work your brain and just spin you. And I think I did a really good job of not overreacting and getting
No, you were great.
anxious because I pretty much knew what it was. And but cancer is so prevalent in my family.
Yeah, you got to look for it.
It's like anytime they're looking at anything, you're just like, please don't find, and they didn't, thank God.
Yeah.
Not everything looked good, except I have fatty liver disease, which I can turn around by eating better and exercising more. So I could have told you that before I spent the money to get the ultrasound. But anyway, that's what it turned out to be. But here's what happened while we were there. So we get checked in. The guy comes to get me to bring me to yet another waiting room at the hospital to wait for the ultrasound tech. So I'm going back with him, and he says to me, so are you having a boy or a girl?
Yeah, that happened.
And I'm in my head like, I mean, what? Why? So I said, oh, no, I'm not having a baby. I'm just here for a liver ultrasound, to which he says, oh, yeah, well, babies don't grow there. And he's just yammering on like he's completely clueless, which clearly he was. So here's my thing. I texted Kevin when I got back to the waiting room, and I'm like, you guess what this guy just asked me? Here's what I'm going to say. If there are men out there listening and you don't already know this, never.
All men know this.
Never. Well, the man who walked me back did not know, and he works in a hospital.
Every man's done it at least once, made that assumption and it was wrong, and then after they do that once, they know better.
Don't ever ask a woman that question. Don't.
Unless you see the baby's head crowning.
She's actively in labor, then you can assume.
Okay, she's pregnant.
But yeah, don't ever ask that question. And secondly, he checked my wristband, which said I was 50 years old, and I'm sorry, I'm completely gray. Clearly not young enough to be pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, I have words. My sister used some words which were hilarious when I texted her and told her.
Yeah, you got to look for the Tony and Gabriel
yeah,
YouTube.
Like, fuck you, Izzy. But
what's your name?
Yeah, that's what I should have said to him. What's your name? So anyway, that was my, just layer on that humiliation. Just layer it on. I can handle it, But I'm not offended by it. Like, I didn't want to punch the guy. I'm not kicking myself and crying in the corner over it. It just is what it is. I've had students ask me that before, but I kind of expect it from like a 5-year-old. They just don't have a filter and they don't know better. And generally they're just curious. But like for an adult, you should know better. Yeah. You should know better. But we laugh about it now, and I'm like, maybe it's a compliment that he thinks I look young enough and healthy enough to be that way. So I don't know. Now I'm thinking about dyeing my hair back brown and just.
No, you don't need to do that.
I talked to one of my friends about it today.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I probably won't do that.
Nah.
Just leave it gray. It's easy.
Just leave it gray.
So anyway, all that turned out, I guess, okay. I haven't heard from the doctor, but I did log into Centera My Chart and read through the chart myself, looked up all the words I didn't know, and self-diagnosed from the lab report. So all good. But that led us to our next purchase.
Yeah, we got Joan suggested, because we need to do exercising, of course. You can't even if you're just eating right, still got to do some exercising for, anybody out there who's got, once you get, the wrong side of 45, you start aching and whatever.
And if you're overweight and have arthritis, exercise, for me, since I was a toddler, I never enjoyed it, never even as a child. Like, it just never was my thing. But
what we found was, what he suggested was an incumbent bike. Recumbent bike, yeah. Recumbent bike. And so the good folks at the Amazon had one, pretty decent price. Well, you paid less than $200 for it, right?
$200. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't terribly expensive.
It's like a semi-recumbent. So the seat's not really low, which is good because now mom and dad can use it. And I don't have to worry about dad trying to get up off of it because it's pretty much at like standing height. But you're not sitting over top of the pedals. The pedals are still out in front of you. So yeah, we've got that. That's in the plan.
Yep.
To do that every day. And we've kind of turned a little bit of a corner. I said goodbye to Starbucks. At least Starbucks like frappuccinos and the sugary drinks, like, all those drinks that add the ton of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
I have been to Starbucks with people ordering those coffees and all, but now I'll just get like an iced tea with a very little bit of sugar in it, just enough to not make it just taste like water. Yeah. So that's a good thing, not only for health reasons, but for money reasons. Because
we spend a ton of money.
But
and we cut the carbs out. We're trying to cut carbs out.
Just make better choices with what we eat and more fresh vegetables and that kind of thing. So
yeah,
we're on a good path. That's what we're doing, starting off slow, because that's what I have to do. I mean, before, like about 6 years ago, before I had gallbladder surgery, we were in the gym 3-4 times a week on the elliptical and the treadmill and doing the little circuit. And
it pops up in my Facebook memories when I say, "Oh, I did this today," and I was like, geez, I couldn't do that.
I know I could. I wouldn't last 5 minutes in there right now, but then we'll get back to that.
Yeah, we will. Too.
So anyway, that was our big fun, the middle of this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we had the live sale.
And then last night, I sell Color Street Nails. I've been with them
since the pandemic.
Almost coming up on a year.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a year in June. And every month or so, I do a live sale. I have a VIP group on Facebook. And so last night we did a live sale and it was fun. We had a fun group of people who were all super happy, and Kevin did it with me. And so it was like Friday night chats in our,
but we were selling
Kevin's going to be a co-owner now of my nail business.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Which means she just does all the work. I just show up on camera every now and again. And I do deliveries. I do deliver the locals.
He is my delivery. He's my FedEx driver. And then, so that was fun. We were on live for almost an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Just talking about nails and telling little stories back and forth and showing different sets. And we had a lot of fun. We sold like 50 sets of nails, which was really good. Paid my student loan payment this month. So I can't complain about that. And so, thinking about the Color Street, I don't talk here a lot about it because I don't want to be like trying to be all salesy. I'm not a salesy person, but
I'm all for it. I say we drop it out there because we should even put it in the opening, like brought to you by Polish My Way.
I could sponsor our own podcast.
There you go.
Work out? Maybe.
Yeah.
So joining that group and having this group of VIPs, and there's about 155 members in my group right now. They're not all active, and I post in it daily, but it's lighthearted. It's fun. It's not about politics. It's not about social problems. It's really just fun stuff. And you just get to know people who you would I probably will never meet in person, but we've developed these, friendships just through this group and the communications through the sales and the stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I have had a lot of fun with it. And so getting to our shout outs for the week. Are we done talking about all our stories this week? Anything else?
Yeah, we get into the shout outs. We're good.
I just want to shout out my Color Street VIP group, Polished My Way with Kelly on Facebook if you want to join. I do post a lot of Color Street stuff in there, but there's no pressure to buy things, to be honest with you. It's just fun stuff. So my little family that I have there, and one of, it's just, they make me happy. It just makes me happy. It's completely different from what I do for my real money. But I'm starting to really treat Color Street more like it's a business. At first, it's just fun nails, and, I'll do little Facebook parties for people and, fun games and whatever in the VIP. But really, I'm starting to really look at it more of like a side business. I definitely invest a lot of money in it.
Yeah, but it's good. It makes her happy, and it brings a little bit of money back into us.
It does. It gives.
We're not running at a loss.
No, we're probably a little more than breaking even, but probably more than breaking even actually. When you consider the discounts I get off the sets and the number of free merchandise I get, and then I sell it. But I was telling someone today, my Color Street collection when I first started was just in a little cosmetic bag. And now I have like a whole cabinet in this room with drawers just full of, prizes and things I give away and manicure stuff and mailings. I mean, business cards and all that kind of stuff. So,
got a subscription to stamps.com and
yeah, we really went all out on the shipping. Because if I sell it on my group, I don't charge shipping. So that's why a lot of my girls like to buy through me personally, because it saves them a little bit of money and they get to have pretty nails.
There you
go. But not just the girls in my VIP group. The other girls that I work with on my team are amazing women. Like you meet these women from all across the country, and the only thing that has brought you together is this love for these fingernail polish strips. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. But I've met them in like Zoom meetings and things like that. Their personal stories and how they got into it and what they're using Color Street to help them do with their families. And I mean, it's the charitable money that they raise and donate. They're just really amazing people. And so it's been a lot of fun. And I always say, if I really could work it to where that could sustain me, I'd consider it. There are women in the organization who are making 5 figures a month at it. So
nail Nazis.
I mean, but they're like big time.
Yeah.
Big time. And the company is new. Like they're 4, maybe not even 4 years old. Like they haven't been around long. And it's just such a good company. And the company itself does so many charitable things. I don't know. It's just brought a lot of joy to me. A lot of confidence in things I never thought I would do before that I can do or am doing now. So I don't know. I just want to shout out to my Color Street peeps.
There you go.
In our sale last night, I had my team was like texting because the national conference is in July. So everybody was talking about who's going live and who's going virtual and which sessions are you going to, and let's share info. And so it was just a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do that. So I'm trying not to move too much in this chair because it creaks.
Yeah.
I noticed it really a lot on the last podcast. I was like, ooh, we got to sit still in that chair. And I say we, like it's both of us, but it's really just me.
I'm in a more solid chair.
He's not in a like swivel chair. So our one last thing. Ready for our one last thing? So last week we interviewed my nephews and we did a little bit of who is more this or that. And I just thought it would be fun to kind of do some who is more likely to with Kevin and I.
Yeah.
So we went through a list of questions and we were like, let's not talk about what what we're going to say. But some of them I'm like, yeah, I know that's me, or yeah, I know that's you. So, but the first one is who's more likely to get arrested? Yeah, I agree. Kevin, not definitely you're going to get arrested, but like.
I've come close. When I had some trouble with the IRS. So I had to go to Norfolk to talk to them because you can't talk to them on the phone. And I was livid going out of there. I was screaming at them.
To be fair, you're livid about anything that has to do with the IRS. Yeah. So,
but I don't generally lose my cool or panic or anything. But they're the most infuriating. I mean, think about going to the DMV and just jam something into your eye and think, well, that's what the IRS is. That's what that's what going down
Didn't
to.
Didn't you print out a bunch of like
the next time because I had to go back? I put a whole bunch of pamphlets about the fair tax, and I just left it right on the woman's desk. I said, "You can hand these out." She says, "You can't take those. You can't leave those here." And I says, "I can print more."
So yeah, and also I know Kevin has many times said to me, if you ever get pulled over and the police want to search your car, don't let them do it. They have to have a warrant.
Yeah.
And so, and then I get that, but I'm like, I don't have anything in my car, so I'm just going to let them search my car because I'm not about to get into it with a police officer over whether or not he can search my car.
Right. Well, that's the thing, though, is that it is a violation of your rights. And if we don't stand up for our rights, we're going to lose them, which is what's happening. It's happening now. But we're not trying to be all political, but that's my belief system.
I can just see in a situation, and I don't know what that situation would ever be, Because, we're not pulled over by the police.
Well, and we have been pulled over, and the cops have been very good to us. Like the guy that pulled us over was around Christmas time, and literally like an hour before, some guy pointed out that our tags were expired.
That guy was not good to us. He gave us a ticket.
He gave us a ticket, but he thought, well, he was like, yeah, just get the tags.
He was playing.
And by the time you go to court, they'll just give it to you for cost of court.
Which was a lie.
Not his fault. The judge was just, the best he would do is half off.
I do understand that we are privileged in the fact that if we get pulled over by the cops, we're probably not going to be harassed.
Right.
I mean, I do understand. Not everybody has that same experience.
Of course.
And so in that frame, I do understand that not everyone is going to have that same reaction from a police officer over little things that aren't a big deal. But I feel like Kevin would magnify something that doesn't need to be magnified in the spirit of, no, you're not going to do anything. You don't have a warrant to do.
Well, that's just,
it just makes the
you
cop
hand them
think
your
you're
ID.
hiding
They come back. They say, okay, can we search your car? No, you need a warrant. Because that's my right. You want to search my car. I'm not giving you permission. I don't have any. I'm never in my life used any type of illicit substance at all, ever. And people don't believe me when I say, oh, you're a libertarian. That's all they want to do is smoke pot. No, that's not it. I've never done it.
You don't smoke pot and you wear masks everywhere you go.
Yeah, I do. And that's because, I live with people that are super duper compromised. So I get it.
You just care about people in general. It isn't even just about, if we weren't even in the picture, you'd probably still do that. Probably. You just care about other people.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that, I want the cops searching my car, even if they're not going to find anything. No, dude, you need to get a warrant because that's how this works. You want to search my car, you get a goddamn warrant.
Okay. We just don't agree on that. And we probably never will. There's lots that we don't agree on.
True that.
Lots of things we don't agree on. But that's one of them. But anyway, if someone was going to get arrested, it's probably going to be him.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going
to. Not even hiding it. That, yeah.
All right. So the next one is, who's most likely to be a couch potato? Who most likely is a couch potato?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, I've done my time on the couch, but I'll jump up and do whatever. So.
You're not a lazy person. I am a lazy person.
Yeah.
And so I will sit and do nothing for hours if I'm allowed to do that.
Oh, I'll binge if I'm watching. Like if I decide, like I started binging Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes on Disney Plus. Do it.
I remember back when you were binging Monk.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, let's not revisit. Can we not?
Okay.
It's just too much for me. I like Monk, but like once every, like once a week would be the perfect amount. Yeah. All right. So, who's most likely to be late to an event?
Neither one of us.
I think though, if you had to choose one of us, it would probably be you.
Yeah.
Just because I will not allow myself to be late to anything.
I won't either. I mean, that's the thing. Neither one of us are ever late.
No, we're not.
I mean, if we're going to be somewhere, we don't argue about it. All right, let's go. Let's get in the car.
I remember I was going to book club one time and I texted and I said, hey, I'm running a little bit late. I really wasn't even late. And they were like, I'll be late getting there. And I got there right on time. And they're like, you're not late. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm late.
Yeah.
I feel like I always have to be there first. Not necessarily first, but like early to scope the place out. It's a part of my anxiety. Scope the place out. Make sure I know.
You allowed shark time to come in because if there's a parking lot and you want to shark
That's true. I don't want to. Yeah, that is true too. That comes from being in college and being a commuter student, not on campus. And so I would drive 45 minutes to get to school and then have to search for parking and just like, I missed classes because there wasn't parking. So anyway, that's that. Who's most likely to lose your phone?
No way. You're always like, oh, can you bring me my phone? My phone's almost always in my pocket. It's in my pocket now.
I might ask you to go bring me my phone. Actually, I don't have my phone.
See? Woo! There it is right here, my phone.
But I can't even say that this isn't true because we have an adjustable bed, and so each side of the bed adjusts separately. So there's two remotes.
Oh, yeah.
And every morning this happens because he always gets up first, and I am never in a flat position. So in the morning, I, put the head down, whatever. And I always throw my remote on his side of the bed. I don't know why I do that, but I always throw it on his side of the bed. So yesterday we were in there cleaning, like getting it on. I could not find the remote anywhere. Like, it's not here. I'm like, I don't know, where the heck could it be? Did I take it? I carry it with me into the bathroom? Is it in the dresser? Like, wherever. So he's like on the floor looking under the bed. It was literally right next to my side of the bed. Yeah. You're just better at finding things than I am.
Yeah.
Because you don't give up, because I'm behind you like.
Well, I move shit around.
Keep looking.
So.
Although there are times where you'll be like, I don't see it, and it's like right behind something else.
Yeah. It depends on what I'm looking for. Sometimes I can, I can find stuff that's hard to find, and then other times it's something that's so blatantly obvious. And like, I don't see it. Oh, here's my phone right here. I couldn't see it, and I was like, well, oh, here it is.
Oh, that's so true. All right, who's most likely to confront a burglar?
Yeah.
I have 2 stories about that. Actually, my first story makes me more likely to confront a burglar. When we lived over by Lynn Haven, and the house had an alarm system. And
well, yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so they make me nervous just because I always felt like I would sleep worse with an alarm on the house, because if the alarm goes off in the middle of the night, like, what the heck do you do? Then you're like paralyzed with fear because you know there's somebody coming in. That's always what I thought. So we went to bed. It was like 12:30. The alarm to the house goes off.
And we were the only people in the house.
We were the only ones there.
She had a roommate at the time, but they were all gone.
So I jump up, run down the hallway. Like, I go to the alarm.
She gives me a quick shake. The alarm's going off, and she gets up and leaves the room. And I'm like, holy shit.
I'm looking at the alarm pad, and it says zone 1 front door. And it wasn't until that second where I was like, somebody could literally be in this room with me right now.
Meanwhile, I'm running behind her saying, where was it at? Like, ready to just pounce.
I didn't even get that fear of there being someone else in the house until I was looking at the alarm going, oh my God, it's the front door.
Yeah.
And what had happened was we hadn't closed it all the way, and the wind hit it, and that was stupid too. Like, the wind popped it open. And so I was jumping into fear's way that time, and also the time we were in the hotel and the alarm went off in the middle of the night and he didn't even hear it. I had to wake him up to tell him we were going to burn to death in a hotel unless he got up and we left. He would have slept right through that thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it wasn't nothing. There was apparently one of their people that worked at the hotel was smoking on their thing. No, but it's a hotel. I mean, how many people have actually burnt to death in a hotel in Virginia? I mean, someplace like LA. I
don't know. I've never researched it, but I'm sure it has happened.
Probably not. Not in Virginia.
Then there was the time I was home here alone.
Oh God.
And that never happens. So my parents and my brother and Kevin and I all live in the house, and there's always somebody here. Especially because Kevin works from home. There's just always somebody here. But I was somehow all alone in the house, and someone knocked on the door or something. And I will not answer the door if someone knocks on it. I won't peek out the window. I'm just not going to go to the door. We have a peephole. Do we have a peephole in the door? Yeah. See, this tells you how much I answer the door anymore. I looked out the thing and it was covered. And so I couldn't see anything out the peephole. And I was freaked out because I thought someone is covering the peephole for a reason. So I was standing right at the door and I said, who is it? And no one answered me. And then I felt someone pushing on the door. And I was like, oh my God, someone's trying to get in the house. So I grabbed Tilly and I grabbed my phone and I run into the bedroom. I lock the door and I call Kevin. He is at Walmart with my parents grocery shopping.
Yeah, Red Mill.
And I'm like, someone's trying to break in the house.
Well, that's all I needed to hear. So I was riding with my in-laws in their van. I was away from them. I found them within a minute or so. Dad picks it up right away. He's like, okay, you need to go. And I'm like, holding my hand in front of my mother-in-law, like, give me the keys, give me the keys. And she's like not understanding what's happening. And, Dad's like, give him the keys. And she hands me her keys. So anyone watching basically sees this big, huge guy.
Like he just like robbed these people.
Just ganked them for their keys. And then I just, fat boys don't run. But Fat Boy was running that day. I was straight lining it right for the door. People flying out of my way because I'm juggernaut mode, right? Super juggernaut mode. They are getting out of my way. People know better. Don't get in Fat Boy's way. And I make it out to the van, and I get in the van, and I'm driving, and I'm like getting out here, and I drove around the front of the house.
I called him, and I'm like, drive around to the front, because our driveway, and we come in through the garage, we're on a corner. So that's on one street, but the front of the house is on another street, like the corner, around the corner. I'm like, drive around to the front of the house. He's like, oh yeah, I'm doing that. I don't see anybody here. I mean, I was so petrified, because I have always
It's okay. They're not here anymore.
She was petrified too. Look at her. She's reliving it right now.
Bad memories. It's okay.
One of my irrational fears is when I get up and I walk down the hallway at night, like that there's somebody like following right behind me, or just weird. I won't look out windows at night because I'm always afraid there's going to be someone standing there. So I mean, I was petrified. I was like in tears in the bedroom, like, oh my God, like I'm so afraid Kevin's going to come in here and encounter this person and he's going to get shot. Like all these things are going through my head. And so Kevin's like, I don't see anybody. The door's still closed. Like I'm coming in through the garage and okay. So he gets in, and everything's fine. He goes out the front door and there was a note, like you have to, because you weren't here to take a package. They left the little sticky note on the door, which must have been what I felt when he was pressing on the door, like to put this little sticky note, like you have to come pick up your package. It was so embarrassing, but like I said, who's there? You would have thought the guy could have said, like, it's the mailman.
That's when I was like, we're getting a camera. We're getting a camera.
Yeah, that's when we put cameras in the front so we could see who was there. And speaking of that, like I woke up this morning and picked my phone up, and at 3-something this morning, it said person detected at your front door.
Yeah, it was the tree.
It was the tree.
The Ring doorbell is great, but you can't really, the ability to set up zones where, this tree that gets blown in the wind isn't being picked up. It's kind of lacking that.
Yeah.
But,
it's a little overly sensitive.
It's a little overly sensitive. But, I still like having it here. I don't, worry about like having a bunch of cameras outside the house or anything like that. I mean, she's better alarm system than anything else that you're going to buy from ADT or, anybody. Mm-hmm. Tilly is definitely going to be on it.
She's curled up in her little fuzzy bed right over there.
Yeah.
And when I was talking about the mailman trying to break in the house, she just lifted her head up, started barking, and then put her head right back down. Mm-hmm. She hates the mailman.
She does.
So anyway, those are the only ones we could find that were not like who's most likely to like break up with the other person. I think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, like these were for couples, 15, but we're not. I guess there's couples that are thinking about getting married.
We're not. Or teenagers.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since we've been that.
Yeah.
So.
Very long time.
Yeah. Anyway, so the weekend, thank goodness for me. My Friday is now Monday. Kevin's Monday. That's the only stinky part, but at least you're off at 4:30. Mm-hmm. And it gives me time while he's at work to get, schoolwork and stuff done too. If I so feel like it, which I've been on strike, I won't do that on the weekends anymore. But there's always Monday.
Back to cooking on the grill.
Yeah, the weather's been so nice. So grilling out. Thinking about getting Kevin a new grill for his birthday. We have one right now that's like half gas and half charcoal. But so many people in the house don't like anything cooked on charcoal that he never uses that side of the grill. So
yeah, I want to get a good size grill.
We'll just go back to a full size gas grill.
Yeah, which I saw one. I'll show it to you in a little bit.
He's been shopping.
That and a hamper. We need a new hamper system because she's just driving us crazy because Tilly hates our hamper. She's got enemies and she barks at the enemies. And one of her big enemies is the hamper.
Not mom and dad's hamper.
Yeah.
Not Mike's hamper.
Just
Not
ours.
even the hamper that's in the bathroom holding like towels. It's just the hamper that we carry our clothes back and forth. Kevin carries our clothes back and forth to the laundry room, and she absolutely hates it. She tries to bite it. She cries. She barks. She whines.
Today I had it because I was going to fold some laundry while I was where is it? I sent it to you, right?
You did. You texted me.
And she was in such a state because let's see, where's that? Here it is. See if y'all can see that.
I don't know if you can see that very well.
I don't know. We'll post it.
Probably not.
Yeah. But basically, she's in her bed because she wants to be by us at any time. So she's in her little bed next to me, and then she's just staring up at the laundry thing just to make sure. Because if that starts to attack, no, she was just staring it down.
Staring at it.
For like 20 minutes. She's just staring at this laundry hamper to make sure it wasn't going to attack me. And then finally she laid down. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's a good little girl. All right, guys. So that is our episode for this week. I don't know what we have coming up next week.
Nothing.
Who knows? Really, we don't have anything really.
We'll tell you how it goes with the bike and,
a little update.
Start talking about maybe our eating habits.
And I'm going to start tracking my weight. So hopefully I'll see that going down. Maybe we can update you on that.
Mm-hmm. And as always, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the little bell, and let us know what you're thinking. We want this to be interactive, so y'all folks need to start talking to us.
We have some people commenting.
Yeah.
Comment on it.
Shout out to Jackie.
We get comments on Facebook too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to start building an audience outside of our Facebook audience.
That's where these people need to start sharing.
So start sharing.
Sharing.
If you find people who don't know us probably don't give a shit.
Probably.
We don't bring anything unusual to the table.
Yeah. Well.
So we need to get a what do they call it? A shtick or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
We will see you next Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Hey, everybody.
Hang on. I got to get this bigger. We're not ready yet.
Oh. It's all right, though. Everybody likes boobs. Everybody.
Yeah, everybody likes boobs.
Everybody.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Chats with Kelly and Kevin.
We really got to script out our intro.
Yeah.
I was listening to the podcast this morning. They were talking about on IJ how they script the intros. Mm-hmm. And then when the guys get the intros, they redo the whole thing anyway. So maybe that's what we need to do. We need to come up with an intro. I want to move my mic a little closer since we're sitting a little further back.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I feel like a dork. We need to start again.
All right.
Ready? Go. You start.
All right. Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys. I did it again. Loud in there. All right. We can't say that on our podcast.
No.
That's going to piss someone off. Let's try it again.